are down in the dungeon of A-Nonny-Moose for my first ever, call this whatever you may. Insert cliche here. Why A-Nonny-Moose? Anonymous was taken. Why be A-Nonny-Moose? Because after years and years of never, or struggling to find a voice, I thought I would find a voice while hidden behind a moose. I don't know whether I have anything particular to say that anyone will find interesting, but I shall speak nonetheless. Better out than in. I guess the same as many people, I questioned everything, and came up with a similar answer as many other people as to what some aspects of this world may or may not be. I tend to call it this. I shan't be doing too many more of them, but if I say this, then it comes in then. If I say we, probably comes in then. It's not an individual we, it's not a your we, it's just a collective use of the word we. I remember how I used to lie awake as a child and ponder the vastness of space, as many others did. Used to scare the crap out of me, lying awake at night as a little boy. Think about how infinite it all was, how you'll never be able to get to the other end of wherever it is. And then you start to question all of that. How big is it all? Is it big really? I don't know, but for the sake of this conversation, I'll say that maybe there is a vastness of space. A space so colossal that there aren't even words to properly describe just how amazing in measure space could be, how infinite. How can you explain, how can you measure, how can you describe infinity in space? And then the enormity of the numbers of, apparent numbers of planets or stars or moons and suns. How to be able to properly comprehend the numbers. And then I started to consider that zooming in to all those stars, all that space, just constantly just zooming in towards this pinprick point, and this pinprick point one day ends up being the Milky Way. And then you continue to zoom in from that point. You zoom into that point, you keep on zooming in to another pinprick. Keep going. And eventually, apparently, we reach the solar system. And then you zoom in some more into that solar system, and in the end, it's a microscopic, almost irrelevant little pinprick. And that's planet Earth. Now, consider how much energy, how much apparent energy and creativity and effort it has taken to create all of that. The time to create all of that. And then consider that we, after all that energy has been put in, all that time has been put in to create everything that possibly could be around and above us into all directions of infinity, we, as lowly little beings on this planet, have come to the conclusion that A, we for some reason rule it, B, consider that we are allowed to give the choice of whether other beings on this planet, or whether the planet itself lives or dies, and C, that all our lives are, after all that, is nothing but being born, going to school, getting a job, getting old, dying. That's it. That is all we are worth after all that effort. And why is that? Why is it that we've taken this route that's led us from what could be to what we have decided, or we have been told, is this? I think it's a journey that started a long time ago, but in this present time, it is all to do with perception. Perception. Your perception, my perception, a collective perception. Because your perception, our perception, is for sale every second of every minute of every day. And it's for sale through our senses. Because without our senses, how can we perceive? So, if we perceive this 3D world around us through our perception of those senses, then it seems to stand to reason that others can manipulate what we perceive in order to create a reality of someone else's choosing. It doesn't matter who's choosing right now, it does not matter. It just matters that our perceptions are constantly manipulated through the bombardment of our senses. And most of the time, we don't even realise. We're so normalised to the bombardment. We're so normalised to born into this. Why would you realise? And what does it do? Anyway. Well, really what it does is it creates a world of limitation, of which I will speak of some other point. It creates limitation through the repetition of systems, and that in turn creates this. It doesn't matter. There are variations of this because the perceptions that we are fed in this country are different from the perceptions that are fed to people in other countries. But it's still a collective manipulation of perception. And the tools of that manipulation are like a worm with different segments that eats its own tail and repeats itself round and round and round. And in that tail could be the education system, our parents, the media in general, which feeds so much, whether it feeds or is fed information from government, whether it's or is fed information from through film or music, through literature, whether it's through being in the repetitious cycles of work, bills, mortgages, debts, maintaining a house, whether it's through technology, through having our realities fed to us through a small screen. It matters not. They are all part of maintaining billions of people's perceptions, thinking that this reality is all there is. And how crazy is that? If there are, as we've been told, over 7 billion people on this planet, there should be 7 billion different thises. And indeed there are. But instead, we're encouraged to think that there is really just the collective this. The collective this which repeats without imagination. Just limitation is bred, and we repeat it over and over and over. We have it fed to us, we feed it to our children, and in the hope that they will feed it to their children, and the cycle continues.